Hey everyone, welcome to the shop. Welcome back to the shop. Hang on a sec, we got to do our part and recycle. That also means we need to reload. So, last night, you guys watched me struggle with uh, the relays and trying to get them to work the actuators. I went back and did my best to find a wiring diagram for the relay box here. I'm going to turn on this light for you guys. For the relay box here, and not talking, but reading some of the reviews and stuff. Other folks have tried to do the same thing with ground actuated components, and that's what the the door poppers work off of. They work off of ground activation versus positive activation. So they need, it sounds kind of weird, but they need the ground to activate. So they're like constantly on, but then when you ground it, it goes back and it opens. It's, I don't know, it's a little odd. It sounds kind of backwards from what it should be, but that's what's necessary to use these door poppers. So this guy is a great little unit, but he's not going to work for what I need this to do in the back of the car here. So I'm trying to be innovative and I'm trying to use cool new stuff, but this guy isn't wired the way I need him to be, and he's not going to work for this application, but he will work for other applications. So where this would work great is to have those relays for like LED light bars. That's what this is really designed for, something that is positive actuated. So when you turn on a switch, positive goes to the component versus it relying on positive and negative goes to the component and turns it on. So this is going to work somewhere else in the car, possibly for the headlights up front or one of the sets of headlights. We might actually run two of these left and right for each of the headlights. It's going to be useful somewhere else, but it's not usable with this setup. So what I did is I ordered two new Bosch 5-pin relay kits. It'll actually be a 3-pack. There's going to be 3 of them here with a spare, and they're going to have their own fuses. I'll show you guys that once they get here tomorrow, and it'll be quick to wire up. Now that we know what we have to work with the door poppers, the amount of wiring that I've gotten rid of in this trunk is incredible. I'm now down to 6 wires, not including the fuel gauge that we were using for testing. So we're down to 6 wires. We're actually going to be down to, I think, 3 by the time we're all done with this, because those grounds do not need to be 10 gauge. They don't need to be 10 gauge, and they don't need to be 20 feet long. So we're going to ditch a ton of that. We're going to have a bunch of extra spare 10 gauge black wire, but 10 gauge is great for grounds. It's a very solid size to use for grounds. The other thing that you guys saw last night, and I will fully admit to being an idiot. Oh, hey, who's in here? Oh, hey, Liz. What does that say? Oh, audio, video, clear. Cool, thank you. The other thing, and I will fully admit being a ding-dong, the reason the plate actuator did not work, oh, okay. It's the end of that light. Let's get a new battery. The reason it didn't work is because I should be smarter. And the reason it should work is because, exactly like I told you guys, trust but verify, right? And I've said that on my personal page. I've said that on the page here. So we want to trust but verify. And I didn't. So I didn't look in the fuse holder if there was a fuse in there. And that's why we did not have the plate moving up and down last night. So I just wanted to bring you guys over and I'll show you what I did. All of this wiring checked out. Everything was fine with this. I triple checked this. And then today I was like, wait a second, did I blow the fuse in there? And I pulled this open to check the fuse. It's our side mount guy, and there was no fuse in there. These guys come without fuses. I'll show you the holder. Let me grab one here. So this is the fuse holder that we're using for the plate actuator. And silly me thought there was a fuse in there. Hey, look, there's a stray plastic hair. There's no fuse. Damn it. So we're going to be using 2 more of these. So I'm going to grab another one. I'm actually going to grab 3 because now here's where my confusion lays. I'm not totally unfounded on this. No, well, I guess I am on that one. Because the different type of fuse holders, like these guys, like these straight in lines, this is with a 16 gauge wire or a 14 gauge. They also don't come with fuses. So I guess when you're buying these guys, when I normally get them at a parts store, they'll have a fuse in there. So put a fuse in there just for everyone. I'm going to leave these out. Make sure we have enough Rockstar for today. Entirely overkill, but I have a 20 amp fuse in there. This thing doesn't have the amperage on it, but he's not pulling that many amps and we're not pushing that hard. It's literally a gravity feed, so 20 amps is going to be absolutely plenty. We could probably use a 10 amp. So I'll put you guys over here and I'll show you how the plate actuator works and get some of this stuff out of the way. I feel so silly for not checking that fuse. That's like one of the very first things you should check. And I got so frustrated and I went through and triple checked my wiring, made sure the battery was fully charged. And that's what these are. These are the battery maintainer. I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? How come it's not working? How come it's not working? Because there's no fuse. And that's for the up. So I just felt like such a ding dong. So I'll bring you guys in here and you can take a look. I'll show you what's going to go and what's going to stay. So here's what's going to go is our distribution block here. The relay block is going to go. We're going to replace it with 3. These are standard Bosch style 5-pin relays. These guys will also get their lower block, the lower portion that goes on there that protects all these so that all these pins stay, all these plugs stay put. It'll look a lot cleaner once that's in there. We'll have 3 over here, 1, 2, and 3. We try to use that center hole, but we'll have 2 extra holes down here. And we'll have our fuses 1, 2, 3, like these guys. This is the one I didn't replace, or I didn't check last night. And now we have a fuse in there. It's convenient. So I want to show you guys how this works. We're going to pretend this is our ignition switch. It's just a standard single pole, single throw switch. And I'm just going to show you guys what happens when I turn on the key, when I turn off the key. So let's get power to this guy and show you how this works. Remember, these things are so slippery. All right, so now we have power to our, obviously to our bus bar, and then it goes to our relay set, which we're going to get rid of, which means we're going to get rid of this wire, This ground is going away. These triggers are going to be wired differently. I'm glad I didn't do those yet. So currently the car is off. We're at an event. The hot tub's going. Everything's great. Now we're going to leave the event. We're going to empty the hot tub into the tanks that are in the back. We're going to go start the car, and we're going to turn on the ignition. And I'm going to zoom you guys back a little bit here. Watch down here, right about here. You can hear it. It's a little hard to see. So turn the car on. Now we're running and driving. And there's our license plate, kind of. I'll tilt you guys down a little more. And then we stop the car and we start to fill up the hot tub. So we turn off the car. And our license plate comes back up. Now, the cool part about this is in this actuator, there is a micro switch in both directions. So when that arm comes up, it trips the switch off. When the arm goes down, there's another one at the bottom that also trips it off. So it only asks for power when you're sending power in the opposite direction. So there you go. Now we can drive and we're totally legal and everybody's happy. And then we stop the car, turn it off. And it hides the plate behind the rear fascia, which obviously needs a dent pulled out and some paint. So that's it. That's the that was the fun one from last night with yeah, you should just roll over there. Okay. This thing's just rolling all over the place. Yeah, the fuse, whoa, the fuse thing was kind of a bummer because I was all excited to show you guys how the plate works, but that's one of those things, you miss stuff all the time. And you're so focused on getting other components working that you don't think about the simple things. You get kind of, you know, you're far more concerned about the technical versus the not very technical. And putting a fuse in is not very technical. So we're going to pull our lead off here because we don't need power anymore. We're going to unhook most of this because this is going to come off later tonight. And just going to undo this guy. And, oh, come back here. Pull our leads off of there. And we should be clear now. Yep. Oh, we got our other yellow here. It's our key on switch. So we've got, oh, and my switch is still hooked up here. So like I said, this guy's going to go away. We're going to do 3 new fuses, or 3 new relays like these guys. 1, 2, 3 across here. We'll do 3 of the fuses like this, the fuse holders. 1, 2, 3. Still looks super clean. It'll still be 1,100 times better than before. And yeah, it'll look a lot better and it'll work a lot better. It'll also weigh about 20 pounds less than the old version. And I can finally cut all the screws in the back. These guys are really long. So we'll do a little upgrade. We'll do it a little bit different, but it will work so much better than what was in here before. That's the other thing, is the efficiency is going to go up. Before it was working fine, but it was draining batteries. So something was obviously pulling power. And I think the door actuator remote was pulling power when it shouldn't have, or there were crappy relays and they just got stuck on or whatever. but the batteries would drain all the time. It's probably crappy connections, excessively long grounds. Like the ground should not be that long. There's no reason for it. So that's where we're at. We'll get a bunch more of this stuff cleaned up. Like I said, we'll probably only have 3 wires in here, maybe 4. And we'll move the battery over to this side. Currently, right now, the battery, its main purpose right now is to power the air compressors, the whole air compressor unit. But we will have another battery over here in a battery box that just does the air compressor. This one is just going to do door poppers, lights, and hot tub. So we'll be able also to be able to jump this battery. Once we turn off the isolator, we'll be able to jump to this battery. And also, we can use this battery as a jump box for the battery at the front of the car. The isolator has what's called an emergency button, and that will take all the power from this and send it to that battery up front, which is a pretty cool little feature, especially if you're, if you get a dead battery, that's not a good thing. So we've got some cool stuff coming. This one was going to be cool, but I kind of bombed out. For what we're doing, it wasn't going to work. So we tried. You always try and do the latest and greatest and coolest stuff. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes you have to go simple, straightforward. It's worked for 80 years. Let's just keep doing it that way. This is one of those cases where it's going to work better doing it the old school way and using the new school stuff for different stuff in the vehicle. So that's about it for tonight. I know it's super late. I know it's Sunday night. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Thanks to all the new subscribers, everyone who's signing up and getting notifications and all that. I really appreciate you guys. It's really cool to get those notices and see the subscriber count just go up and up. That's pretty awesome. I appreciate it. Definitely tell your friends about it. We're getting a lot closer with this car where it will be out and about in public doing not necessarily smart things, but we're going to have a good time with it and hopefully make new friends and show off how cool this car is. It's going to be a lot of fun when we're all completed with it. So thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. Don't forget to show someone that you love them. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the front, on the tip of their nose, the front of their face, on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand, give it a squeeze, and you got to see the size of the wolf spider down here. He's got to be, holy crap, where are you going, buddy? He's a pet. Wow. Wow. He just came out from behind the jack. That's a big boy. Anyway, don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it's far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We will catch you. We'll catch you tomorrow. We'll get this stuff wired up as soon as those relays get here, and I'll show you how all the wiring goes, and I'll clean up those other 2 relays. So we'll have some good working electrical stuff tomorrow. Have this trunk nice and clear. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you tomorrow. All right. I'm going to go a different way because I don't know where that big ass spider went. Actually, I can see him right now. All right. I'm going to put you guys over here. Oh, shit. He just took off. Where is he going? Where the hell is he going? Keep running outside, buddy.